Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tawana Rivers. We are the 10K Project, and we are super excited to join you another week with another amazing Black founder that we are so excited to share with you. I want to introduce to you all Dr. Yumna Muhammad, who has what I believe is a wonderful product to show us and share with us this evening. This project, when I heard about it, was very exciting. It resonated with me. Reminded me of my childhood, and I thought if it reminded me of mine, knowing that the audience that we have here at the 10K Project, their background is similar to mine, right? And I felt like if it resonated with me, I think you guys are going to get it. And I think you're going to enjoy this product as much as I do. And so I don't want to delay any longer. It is 2 o'clock in the morning where Yumna is, right? And so, first of all, sis, thank you so much, right, for the sacrifice, right? To take a nap earlier and, and to stay up so late to talk to us about what it is you're doing. It definitely warms my heart to know that we were important enough for you to want to come to talk to us, but then also with the time difference to be able to, accommodate the time schedule that we have. So thank you so very much for that. I really do appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes. So let's talk. Introduce yourself to the audience, talk a little bit about your background, and then I'll let you go right into telling us about the project. Oh, and we're not by ourselves. It looks like Miss Talisha Shine, our admin, got some power. So now we got the admin of the year here with us.
You can relax and enjoy
I can
the,
relax.
the
I can relax
conversation.
now because I was very nervous that I was going to screw something up.
I am powered. Yes, I'm here.
You are powered. Thank you so much. I know you had a rough day, T-Shine, so thank you for joining us as well. I told him I didn't know if I could do as good a job without you, so I asked him to be patient. So thank you for coming.
Sweet, sweet.
Okay,
Um,
Yumna, tell us about you. Tell us, excuse me, Doctor. You listen. I'm gonna give you all the credit, Doctor Yumna Muhammad. Okay.
so a little bit about myself. I'll tell you first where I'm from because I think it'll be pretty exotic for most of you. So I'm from the Comoros Islands in the Indian Ocean between Madagascar and Mozambique, and that is actually an interesting part for the story that I'll tell later. And so, but part of that, I'm a trained physicist who end up shifting to engineering, doing 6 years in academia as a research engineer in the field of printed electronic, which was a very exciting field where we use printing techniques with the inks that have electronic property to print solar panel, pressure sensors, antenna. But then to some point, I just decided, let me try to, I was getting paid to solve problems, but not problems that matter to me and passionate me. And so I just like, let me try to use my skill to do something that is closer to my heart. So here we are. The story will unfold in the presentation.
Wonderful. All right, let's jump in. Let's get started.
Fantastic. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm also going to share the audio, okay? I
Okay.
need to find, need to find how do I share my audio actually on
So
Zoom.
when you go to share screen, there'll
Yeah.
be three boxes at the top, three tabs, and one
Oh,
says
yes.
advanced.
Share sound. Fantastic. I found it.
Perfect.
If you let me, what does it say? Select this option if you want others to. Yes. Okay, fantastic here. And then it's not letting me select it.
So when you highlight, when you go to advanced,
Yeah.
and it
Okay.
says, hold on, let me go to it so I can walk us through it. So it's basic, advanced,
Okay.
and files, right?
Yeah.
Go to advanced, you should
Yeah.
see a box that says computer audio.
Yeah.
When you click that,
Uh-huh.
and then you go,
It shows here the only thing is here show mono or stereo high fidelity.
so you click computer sound. Let's see. Zoom always
The
does this on us, but hold on. It's share, advanced, computer sound,
yeah.
and then
You know what? If it doesn't work, it's such a shame, but I have subtitle on the video. Will have been better hearing it, but I have subtitles, okay? Because it doesn't seem to allow me to share the sound. At the bottom, I can see share sound, but
Yeah,
it's saying,
it's not there in options. It's under computer audio. So when you go to advanced and you hit computer audio,
yeah, it's
th-
not, I don't know what, let me try this, what happened if I do this. Can you hear me properly?
I can hear you.
So let's see what happens. Am I sharing my screen? You're sharing my screen. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't see your
Okay,
screen.
fantastic. Okay, you can see my screen? You're sharing computer sound. I'm not sharing the screen too. So sharing, okay. And
It says you're sharing sound.
is it sharing now?
It's sharing now. Perfect.
Fantastic, fantastic. Let's get going. I should have gone up so you can see everything. Kill the surprise. Okay. Let's get going. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and giving me this opportunity to share, I will say, this vision with you. And I think you're really gonna very much relate to it. So, as I mentioned, my name is Yumina Muhammad, and I'm the founder of Nyfasi. And the motto with Nyfasi is the joy of natural hair. So, little more to come regarding that. So my journey for me started when I was a living nanny. I used to look after this beautiful girl called Hazel. The thing is, Hazel will cry every single time that her mom is applying conditioner to her hair after washing it, simply because the pain that she was going through. And I would always have to hear, "Mommy, mommy, I want my hair to be straight." And it just kind of left me with the desire that I would love to change that experience. Yeah. Because actually when we are applying conditioner to textured hair, or we are applying let's say a leave-in conditioner or a hair mask, the process is very tedious. We have to pour the hair into section, apply the product, distribute it with our hands, and then detangle. And so the process itself is quite time consuming. In a survey that was answered by 366 women, we found that most, on average, around 30% of those women take between 5 to 20 minutes, but actually we have women taking around 33% of the women who take between 20 to 30 minutes, but we have more women that take actually more than 30 minutes, some taking 16% taking more than 50 minutes. So beyond the time that it says, it's actually also the pain that people experience and children experience, and also how it's impact our relationship with our body. When a piece of our body, a part of body becomes such a source of frustration and anxiety, having to take care of it, it does affect our self-esteem and the relationship with ourselves. So with that, it kind of asked me to revisit my own childhood. So in my yard, and I'm sure lots of women do that, but in my yard specifically, when women actually do hair, when my mom used to do my hair, she'll always have a glass of water. And then she'll put some coconut oil inside, and she will dip the comb in the water with coconut oil, and then come to detangle my hair. What that did is actually enable to actually lubricate that comb so that when she's coming to detangle, the process is actually easier because of that lubrication. So I just thought, why not recreate what mommy used to do in a much more neater and clever way? And the aim here is really to let hair care be what it should be, a moment to connect with ourselves, but also to share moments with our loved ones. So that's why the brand is called Nyfasi, because in Swahili, Nafasi means having a good time, having free time. So how do we do that? How do you offer a great time when it's come to hair care of natural hair? I present to you the Nyfasi Deluxe Detangler. So is enable the application and distribution of hair care product at the same time as detangling. Here we have the packaging, a little bit more about how it works. So here, let me just get rid of this. Fantastic. So it's made out of 4 parts. We have what we call here the cover. This element here has a very soft touch on the top to kind of give you a comfy feeling. But then really the magic happened all here between this element here that I called a comb reservoir, because there is a comb on the side here, and then this element here, which is a roller. So the way it works is very similar than a ball pen. So you fill the product with the hair care product of your choice. And as you start detangling and you engage the roller, get in contact with the hair, it's enabled to actually rotate that roller, which enables to apply what is in the comb to the hair. And we also have a locking mechanism at the end here to ensure that when it's full, it's not easy to open randomly. So lots of small details there. So this is a smart demo, as you will see. So in this case, we are applying a light leave-in condition, as you can see. We fill it in, and then as you detangle, you can see the white stripe being applied. That is actually the leave-in conditioner being applied onto the hair. The benefit to the end user is actually even product distribution, easy detangling, and saving up to 30 minutes. Can you hear that? Are you hearing the audio? Just to make sure.
We don't hear the audio.
Oh, what a shame. Okay, so I'll play it and then you can read the subtitle. Oh, such a shame. So the detangler was developed with 50 women in the process of development, from our first 3D printed prototype to the one that you actually see in this video. And these are some of the women that we engage with. So, and their feedback for those who actually had the opportunity to test it at home for 2 weeks. So 30 of those 50 women tested at home for 2 weeks. So on the top, we have Charlotte, we say, my haircare day has never been this easy. We have Morgan say this detangler is absolutely amazing. And Shiba, this is actually Perpetua. This is my favorite one, where her daughter say, wow, mommy, this is amazing. I don't feel any pain. And given where the business all started and the idea started, that one especially makes me happy. But here we have the feedback of Shiba. I'm gonna let you read it. Unfortunately, sorry for the sound, but I'm gonna let you listen to Shiba. So that was for the experience of Shiba being part of the research development. So from those women that we actually engage with, we asked them the question, would you buy this product when it goes to market? So you can see here we have 48% of them say extremely likely, 28% saying very, very, very likely. The thing is, one of the important elements, even for those women who actually selected not sure and not very likely, we have actually all of the participants said that there's currently no product on the market that offer them the same benefits. But in total, it's still 75%, 76% of our participants that say that they'll purchase the product when it goes to market. So today we are looking to launch in August, around August, and we also have strong indicator about the interest about the product. So between 2022 and 2023, we run a pre-order campaign with the aim of raising the fund necessary to actually have the manufacturing mold. And although that campaign did not reach the target, and we reimbursed all of the people who took part to the campaign, we actually had 328 detanglers bought by 262 individual. People were buying more than one, with the maximum number being bought being equal at 6, which was really interesting because it was actually a man. I was not really expecting actually to have so men actually engaging with the product, but I believe that they understand very much the difficulty, and they just want to offer them to the different people in their life. So that was a very interesting thing. And one thing to note is that the sales were coming from different country, UK, France, US, as well as Grenada. And that was done without any marketing budget, yeah? The other interesting things, once again, with no marketing budget, we currently have 3,500 social media followers and 3,000 email subscribers. the Deluxe Detangler has won the IF Design Award in 2022 and the Good Design Award in 2022, which are both international awards. So the logo that you have here, the NHS is actually the how do you call that? The health, is the health body, everything that is like the national health system, yeah. So they started running a campaign last year whereby they wanted to have product for people who were in intensive care, but they realized that they didn't have product for people who had textured hair. I engaged with them and they wanted to test the detangular to actually see whether it will be fit for their scheme. But unfortunately, at that time, I didn't have the product. So that conversation actually started because of that. But I'm looking to rekindle that conversation. Similarly with Boots, Boots is kind of like the equivalent of, say, CVS in the US. Is one of the biggest pharmacy in the UK. They were interested in stocking for Christmas 2024. But once again, given the fact that I didn't have the product, I was not able to provide them to actually carry on that conversation. Another interesting one that is I'm really excited. So the BSA is the Black Swimming Association. As we all know, lots of people with textured hair do not swim or do a physical activity because of the time that it takes them to manage their hair. So I'm looking to work with the BSA for them to endorse the product, to be one of the products that they give to kids when they go to school, when they're educating about swimming, the benefit, and also teaching young people how to swim. So we've been featured on national and international press. So we had the BBC, ITV, BBC Afrique, which was actually a francophone channel because I speak French. But then one thing that was really interesting, where we were featured on Mayotte La Première, which is one of the channel of France TV, which is the national French TV. You can see there that we actually went viral with actually 386,000 views and 688 comments. So the story about the product, but also the fact that there is nothing so simple that is addressing this problem, is really compelling to individual. We also had the opportunity to engage with celebrities, and we had great feedback. Felicia Leatherwood saying, "I love it. It is classy. It is top notch." But also in the UK, TV presenter Dr. Zoe William actually say that it's a genius, and she shared it on her Instagram with her 190,000 Instagram followers. So really the key of Nyfasi is in its IP, yeah? So currently, the IP is granted in the EU, in the UK, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Kenya, in Mozambique, Rwanda, Uganda, and China. It is pending in different categories, including US, Canada, and Brazil, and a couple of others. The design rights, so the IP itself, when I speak about pattern, I'm speaking about the working mechanism that actually give the functionality to the detangler, which is actually all around the system of the roller. But then we also protected what we call the design rights. So when you think of Coca-Cola, you think of that bottle of H shape, yeah? Because they actually protected that so nobody use it. So it's kind of like connected with the brand. So similarly, we filed for the design right, and that was actually granted in the UK and in the US. The trademark Nyfasi is actually accepted and registered in the UK, and we own the Nyfasi.com, Nyfasi.org, Nyfasi.co.uk, and Nyfasi.net. We own all of those websites to make sure to redirect people who might have made a mistake to go to Nyfasi.com. So the strategy in the long run of Nyfasi is actually the IP exploitation. Today, we have the Deluxe Detangler, which is designed for curly, coily, and kinky hair. The long-term vision for this brand is actually to develop combs and brushes for different hair texture and type hair texture, but also purposes. The interesting part is, since I started showing the product on social media, I got lots of inquiries from moms with daughters with straight long hair, but actually the hair is quite fine, but also it get matted, asking me whether it will be suitable. The fact is the current design is not suitable, but the IP is, we can repurpose the IP to actually change from a comb, either have kind of like tooth that are much more closer, or have a brush so that it's actually suitable for straight hair. So one thing that was interesting is also men with beards asking whether it will be suitable for their beards. So that's, again, as person who is experienced is into research and development, we can repurpose the IP to actually come and diversify the product range of the business. This strategy of IP exploitation is one that is often used when it's come to hair tools. So if you think of Tangle Teaser, for those who know, Tangle Teaser first started using the IP to actually target women with straight hair, but now they're actually starting to target women with textured hair. Similarly, Demnum Brush repurposed their IP to actually go into different market. So it's a very it's a very common strategy to repurpose IP to actually develop the range of product. So regarding the brand, the vision of Nyfasi in the long run be a brand that offer innovative and effective hair tools as such. With the ethos here being Nyfasi, the joy of natural hair. The joy of natural hair means so much to me. Is not only first thing is like changing that experience that is very much associated with pain to one that we actually enjoy. But beyond that is actually being able to enjoy every single day's activities, whether I want to go swimming, whether I want to go to the beach, whether I want to go and work out, without being concerned of actually how having to take care of my hair. So it's about being able to live life fully with actually wearing our natural hair without the concern of actually taking care of it. One thing that is really important to me here is the social impact. 5% of Nyfasi's profit will be donated to offer one-to-one coaching. So you might wonder why one-to-one coaching. It's simply the fact that when I first had this idea, it took me, I believe, around 2 years to actually start taking the first step. Because despite having the PhD and working as a research engineer, I didn't kind of have the confidence that I will be able to take this idea where it needs to be. And it was only with working with the life coach that I got to understand my limiting beliefs to actually and break them to then actually have a very clear goal about why this idea and why this business was important to me, which has served me in so many different ways because now I've been in the process of developing the idea and fundraising in total. It took me around 7 years. And I think understanding why we do things in life and understanding ourselves brings lots of power to people. And so that's what I want to give back when we are in a position to actually do so when we do have a profit. So this is a very exciting segment of the hair industry because it's a new segment. So there are currently 3 brands actually offering, looking to actually offer a system which enables to apply product at the same time as detangle. The first one, I'm sure you might be aware, it's a excellent US brand. It's called Ritualist. So this one particularly is not only detangling, it's also applying heat. But then the difference with the Deluxe detangler is that this product actually uses an electrical motor. So because of that, I imagine the production costs are quite high. So they have to make up for the cost. So the price, retail price is quite high. So in dollars is around $450. But then the challenge there is also that because you need to plug it, it means you can't use it in the shower and you cannot use it outside of the house. So let's say you're going to the beach or you're on holiday, and that's limit the usability. The other one is also a US brand, I believe, who is in the process of raising funds. And in this mechanism, the user have to press on the side to actually open the release of the product. And that is quite challenging when you think about it regarding the usability, because you have to hold it, you have to press and pull to be able to detangle. And so I believe that the Deluxe Detangler is a very exciting product because of its patented self-activated mechanism. The simple contact between the hair and the roller enables the rotation of the roller to then able to apply. So the Deluxe Detangler offer an efficient, user-friendly, and affordable product, and that's what makes it different from the different product that the 2 other products that are on the market right now. So the market is huge. Very often when people think about textured hair in Europe, at least, thinking like, oh, it's a small market, but actually no, we have whole African continent with textured hair. We have the South of America, which is around 40 to 50% textured hair, and then between 75% of textured hair, and then the North of America between 40 to 50. So up to 75% of the worldwide population has wavy, curly, or coily curly hair. So, but focusing first on the key market that I will look to start serving when we go to market will be the UK and the US. So with that, we look at the total addressable market as being the percentage of women who have textured hair. And that in the US is 75%, 17.5% of the women population, and in the UK is 10% of the UK population, which give 20 million in the US. But then when we look at that group of women with textured hair, I believe Black women will be the one that will really understand the need of this product. That's around 22 million women. And then we believe you can take 5% of that market within 5 years of trading, which will give us around 1 million unit sales sold. In the UK, in a very similar thought process, we believe that Black women will be the first to actually gravitate towards this product. So that's around 1.1 million of women taking 15% of the market, will lead us to have, with the US market, to actually have around 1.2 million units sold sell between the first 5 years of trading. The route to market is very simple. We're first going to start by D2C, which will enable to really understand, to communicate with our users, understand how they speak about the product, and really to be able to actually make sure that we are reaching product market fit. Once we have achieved that, the next step is actually to go to retail, looking to Afro hair shops, but also pharmacies. So in the UK, the main pharmacies are Superdrug Boots. The equivalent in the US will be CVS and so. But then another exciting bit will actually be haircare professional, not only hairdressers, but actually hairdressing school. A very interesting element is that in the UK, since 2020, all hairdressers need to be trained for textured hair. That means that usually what people challenge, what people struggle with natural hair is actually that detangling and that product application process. So working very closely with hairdressing school would be a very strong way to actually being able to have hairdressers that then have been taught to care of textured hair using this product and become not only sellers in the shop, but also advocate of the product. The next spring will actually also looking at selling in online marketplaces in general. So as I said, the business model is D2C, but also wholesale in the second phase with retail. So the price, the Deluxe Rectangular will actually be retailing at £30 when it is on Nyfasi.com, but in as a wholesale, the price will be around £16, yeah. So currently we are actually, thankfully, I'm excited to say that we are in production. So we are manufacturing in the Far East with a highly recommended manufacturer by people who have an IP that have been working with this company for the last 10 years. So that's a great thing to know regarding the safety of the IP. The transit between the country in question and actually the UK is around 26 days. This number is slightly more elongated right now because of everything that is happening in the Red Sea, but that's pretty much where it will go back when things are coming down. Price-wise, this is a very interesting and exciting domain to be in. As we increase the manufacturing quantity, the price of the unit decreases, as you can see. But the interesting thing is also in this type of field where MOQ can be high, the thing is with injection molding, we don't need to buy the whole quantity that we have manufactured. For example, I can manufacture 10,000 units, but then actually buy ship 500 or ship 1,000 depending on how things are going and what I need. So it's enabled to have that low price of production, but actually still being able to actually buy small quantity as long as the whole set of, let's say, the 10,000 that we manufacture have been bought from the manufacturer within 1 year of them being produced. So it's really give to the business the time to actually to not actually engage into physical inventory where money is needed into different places. The distributor we'll work on is based in the UK. They have experience shipping all around the world, including the US, but they also have experience working with retailers. So the pick and pack, the only cost for the pick and pack, but also connecting the software, but really the main price is actually that pick and pack and the storage fee, which is around 2.30 per pallet for a week. So the real here, we are really working to actually develop a reliable supply chain. So what will it look like the data? This data here regarding the finances, we'll be looking at a cumulative turnover of 36 million in 5 years. I have to mention that when I did this projection is actually looking at a much more bigger raise. It was a raise around 250, but that doesn't mean that we can't get there. I'm just going much more actually doing smaller raise, but actually the feasibility of the target is really there because anyway, the raise we are doing is actually an advanced subscription. But people might think 36 million is huge. Actually, 36 million is very accessible. Bearing in mind that, for example, Tangle Teaser did 36 million sales in pound within their first 5 years of trading. And the Deluxe Detangler is really offering something that is unique, practical, and also being patented. So I don't think it's overly ambitious. I think it's quite a realistic target. So by myself, as I say, I've worked as a research engineer and contributed to 2 patents in the field of printed electronic. I've won several awards, including the Royal Academy of Engineering Enterprise Fellowship, which is actually awarded by the Royal Academy of Engineering, but also more recently, Innovate UK and Unlocking Potential. It's a grant that is Innovate UK is the funding body for of the British government when it's come to all technology, all businesses that are revolving around technology and around an IP. And I have to say that the reason why for me I let go of my career as a potential and academic, because for me Nyfasi is actually more than detangling. It's really the way I choose to serve the world by changing that relationship with our hair, by offering that great experience, but also being able to contribute to the development of young people by donating those 5% to coach young people, as I mentioned. So currently there is not an advert board. I have people around me that follow on a regular basis, but I'll be looking to actually have an adverts board, and I'll welcome if some of the investors that are looking to join this adventure have the ability to actually become advisor. That'll be fantastic. But currently I'm surrounded by 2 mentors. The first one is called Joy Oga-Hetfield. Joy is so dear to me because beyond being a leadership coach, she's also a life coach. And it's with her that I work within those 2 years where I needed to understand why this business was important. But what it did, not only for me, but for the business, it came to inform a lot of things regarding the brand, regarding the long-term vision. And so until today, I still engage with her to make sure that I'm keeping track with where we are going, rather than sometimes you can a bit get overwhelmed with entrepreneurship and take shortcuts that end up actually taking you away from your initial vision. The other person that mentors me is this gentleman called Dylan John Even. He's a professor in Southwest University, and he's really well connected and just opening his network, being a great ally there. The project is supported by Innovate UK, that government body. And so the people who are supporting me within Innovate UK, we have Dawn Marshall, which her field is actually into marketing. But then we also have Justin Belcher. Justin knowledge is all around everything that is D2C. What a blessing. At this time of the project, I just got connected with Justin 2 weeks ago, so that I'm saying what a blessing. So and the other people I'm working on, there is a lady called Kiki Farr, which actually helping with the marketing and the preparation of the launch, and a gentleman called Daniel Mishra, whereby an ex-PNG and Innocent, which has voluntarily helping me out with the projection of all of the final projection. So how was the funding process until now? We've been bootstrapped today. So the first thing is I put in my own personal savings into the business. That really went into the initial R&D and also the IP itself to actually file for the IP. I paid for that first application. Then we had the Royal Academy of Engineering, was around £70,000. And then I tried to be as creative I can be to go get money where I can. I went back home from where I'm from and actually managed to get a grant of 30K, which enabled to cover the cost of the international patent application. That was a huge cost. I was very fortunate and very grateful for that opportunity. And then I've just been managing with small grant, 3K, 2K, but really everything kicked in since last December when we were awarded the Innovate UK grant. The interesting thing is you're saying maybe why you have 50K, why you're raising. The thing is Innovate UK is a government funding body. So it does not allow you to make money of anything that you manufacture during that process. What they do is enable you to do R&D. And what they enable to me is actually to actually develop the manufacturing mold. So currently we are maybe potentially 1 month away from completing the development of the manufacturing mold, which actually can manufacture all the way to 300,000 units. That's a lifetime of the mold. And with the grant, I'm gonna have 500 unit, 500 unit, but I can't sell this 500 unit because it's Innovate UK money. So it's money from the taxpayer, so you cannot monetize on it. But you just give me units to be able to actually engage with NHS, with Boots, all of those people that have been waiting for me to give them a sample that I didn't have because I didn't have them all. So this raise really comes to do two things: to build a product stock, and then to cover the IP, to carry on covering the IP. For example, the last country that I told you, Kenya, Uganda, Mozambique, were accepted last week. So have a cost coming in a month, so, but also create more content, because I'm realizing that I need to refresh a bit the content of the brand, and I want to do that. So what we are doing, the raise that we're currently doing is 30K, and it's through an advanced subscription agreement. Yeah. The aim here is to get those 40K to go to market and then do a bigger raise later. The current valuation is set at £960,000. So why £960,000? I've engaged with different people who are expert into who understand the world of the fundraising process as it is today. And so they were valuing the business around 1.2 million. But because I want to do a gesture towards the people who are taking the risk with me at such an early stage, I lowered the valuation to 960K to be able to how can I say to show my gratitude for those people that are joining the business at this stage. Yeah. So the end evaluation will end up at 1 million. Currently, we already had 15K that we received from three different investors. So here is the link to actually being able to find to actually fill your details. So this is not a crowdfunding as such. It's more like advanced subscription. So the link itself will take you in a type form whereby you can actually either fill all your details, so I can draft for you a copy of the advanced subscription agreement for you to review before signing it, and then we will sign it once you've read it and you're happy to go forward. Or you can also book a 15-minute call with me if you have any further question after this conversation. So with that, I would like to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my passion and my vision of Nyfasi, and I do hope that you do join me in this adventure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so, so much. What a wonderful presentation. I just want to talk a little bit about it, and then we'll open it up to Q&A.
Yeah.
You can stop sharing your screen so we can be
All right.
bigger on the screen. We also have
Fantastic.
been putting the link to that type form in the chat. So you guys have that in the chat as well. I want to just, first of all, when I said this resonated with me, right? I think many of us were that little girl in the chair, right? Yelling, screaming, squirming, right? Getting popped upside the head with the comb because we were squirming, right? And getting your hair done was not fun, right? There's some things when mom said, come on, let's do something. You were like, yay. And then when she said, come on, let me braid that hair, it was just kind of like, oh man, here we go, right? And so to know that you experienced the same thing in Madagascar, right? That I experienced in the Bronx, New York, right?
Yes,
That to me speaks volumes about culture and community,
yes, true.
who we are, right? And so when I saw this campaign and you reached out, I really, really wanted to share this with the community because I felt like this would resonate with the 10K project community. I also thought it was good deal terms, right? There's that.
Investors after all.
There's that. And a great product. Some of the things you didn't mention that I think need to be said. The hair care industry is a $91 billion industry globally.
True.
And if you remember all of the places she already has the patent, right? And so think about what the global market looks like and think about how she's positioning her company. And so from an investor standpoint, those things matter, right?
Yeah.
You've been very, very strategic in where you're positioning yourself. And I appreciate that. And that has not been lost on everything that you talked about. I also love that there is that social impact component that you're giving back to women, right? You're giving back to people how did you say it? You said to break their limiting ideas.
Limiting beliefs. Yeah.
Their limiting beliefs about what they're able to accomplish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, think about the lives that will be changed just from that, right?
Yeah.
Just from that small contribution that will have such a big impact in the lives of future entrepreneurs or future doctors or future writers or future whatevers, right? That just need somebody to tell them to believe in themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love that component of the business as well. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is the ask is not great, right? You're looking to raise 40,000 pounds,
Yeah.
right? That's $50,000 around about in US dollars. You've already raised 15,000 pounds. That leaves about 30,000 US dollars left for you to raise. The minimum is $2,000 if I'm not
Exactly. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yes, indeed. Yes, thank you.
2,000. And let's talk just a little bit about the ROI from that, right? And obviously, let's say this first, these are not guarantees of returns, right? This is investing, and so there are no guarantees.
Yeah.
However, if the business does what is projected, what does that $2,000 buy from an equity standpoint?
Okay, so at the point of $2,000, it will get so 10K will get the investor 1% of the company. So $2,000 will get the investor 0.2%. So it's just as simple as that at this stage. Yeah.
Very good. So 10K will get you 1%.
1%.
1,000 will get you 0.2%, 0.2%.
Yeah.
Equity in the business.
This is the exciting part to come at this stage, because as soon as we start manufacturing, when we are completing this ASA, this advanced subscription, that valuation will definitely increase with the sales that actually will come in at that stage. Yeah.
Very, very good. Very good. All right. I want to get to some of the questions. Guys, go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A section if you have any. I'm so excited for you because now when you have those conversations, you're in production, you'll have something to show them. That had to be extremely frustrating. Oh.
So let me show you a little closely. Yeah. So this is everything really was told to true. So here we have that coating that gives that soft touch. It's not plastic. You can hear it's not making any noise. Yeah. To make sure that it doesn't open randomly, this is the locking mechanism. You have to press it to open it. So when you press it, you have the cover there. And what we have that insert that comes here. That close. Sorry, I just showed that. And then the roller. So the four part does come out. So very easy to clean, very easy to maintain. You're putting your roller, you're putting your insert. What's happening is this is what is happening. As the hair engages, just imagine that the hair engages with the roller, and what is enabled is that rotation enabled to apply what isn't the comb to the hair. Yeah. The whole idea of this process here with actually the insert is actually twofold. Right now, the Deluxe Detangler has a quite wide range of viscosity. We go from a light hair care products, such as, sorry, I came prepared. Light product like the one that you got to see in the video, like viscosity like this one, to all the way to things that are much more thicker, like this product here that you can see, those that actually kind of like don't have much of the move, because of that insert that enabled to actually force the product on the top of the roller, so it's always being applied. The next thing I'd love to show you, if you allow me, is actually the packaging, because we are not speaking about development here. We're really hitting the go process. So this is our packaging. The dream is really for people to feel very special when they get it. It's a present to yourself, because it's a special moment that taking care of your hair should be a moment that you enjoy. And so when you do open the packaging, you end up having this beautiful message here that you do have, which is tell you welcome to the joy of natural hair. So we do have our our leaflet here, which is actually done with some of the women that actually we developed the product. As you'll be able to see here, just kind of like, you know, and demonstrating. That was me before. And just demonstrating the manufacture, not the manufacture, but the usability and how it's being used. And then potentially, if we have time, I'd love to do a demo, but if I can, I'm happy to carry on with questions. But I wanted to show you the range of viscosity. Another interesting thing is that it works really well with the mousse. So you just take a generic mousse. The beauty when you use it with the mousse is also become a styling product, because I'm sure you see all of these videos on YouTube with those women with curly and textured hair doing this thing called raking. Is actually agglomerating the curls at the same time as detangling, and that's exactly what the Deluxe Detangler is doing by applying and detangling. It's clumping those curls, so it really gives beautiful curl definition. So that's what I want to share with you.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. A demo is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A demo is
Yeah.
great.
Okay, fantastic. Let me bring my friend called Cameron here. Okay. And turn Cameron's head. Okay. So we're gonna use the mousse because the mousse is actually the less messy. I'm gonna turn this way around here. So I changed my setting last minute, so I don't know how it's gonna look like. I'm gonna show you my. Let's see. Can you see this? Yes.
A little bit. Yeah. Yep. You can see
Yeah.
it.
So let's say this is the hair. I changed last minute the orientation, so things are not easily reachable. Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, because we changed the setup for your lighting. Yeah.
Yes, the lighting. So, so imagine I'm just putting a bit of hair, because anyway, textured hair, you don't try to manage it when you actually have when it's actually dry. So it's as simple as that. You just open it here. And then what I'm going to do is actually put a bit of that mousse that we had earlier, as I say, because it's the most simple thing to demonstrate. So I put whatever amount I want, as simple as that, yeah. Once I'm done, I simply close it, the cover here. And what you have here, you can see here, I'm pulling, the two are not coming off because we don't want it to open randomly when people are using it.
Right.
And so usually start with the edge of the hair, yeah? So let me know if you're seeing, yeah?
Yes.
And so as soon as the hair get in contact with the roller, you can see that you have that application there. And then I can go up. What I do sometimes if there is a tangle, that let's say, for example, that is a very, very strong tangle, I just use the detangler to lubricate that area by just doing this, so that there is conditioner there is a lubricant, and then I come back and actually try to detangle further. But what it does really here, you can see that it's enable you to have a uniform application, because you're gonna see in a second when I'm done with this section, is when I do open in the middle, it's actually applied. I didn't go in the middle, but it's applied because it's not only applying, it's distributing at the same time. So one of the benefits of it is also the fact that you end up using less product, because you're not just slapping a huge chunk and then having to kind of realize you actually put too much of the product. So I just really wanted to demonstrate to you the simplicity with it. I didn't have to press anything. The simple engagement of the roller enabled the rotation of the mechanism and do the application.
Yeah, that looks so simple. You know, when you were talking about one of the competitors having to hold it and press the button and then pull down, like I've got carpal tunnel. I would never be able to do those three things at the same time, right? It would just wouldn't happen. And so I think about people who may have some limitations,
Exactly.
arthritis or anything, they could still hold this and just
Exactly.
it. I mean, it didn't even look like
Exactly.
you were gripping it hard, like, you know, with a firm hand. That went through very, very nicely. And you're absolutely right about the product and the fact that, you know, we waste so much product because we're trying to get it all in, but you just distributed it very nicely through that.
That's
Nice.
one of the advantage. Yeah. So it's not just application, is literally you're doing 3-in-1, literally. Applying, distributing, and detangling, actually.
And
So
really
that is
cool, right?
really,
Because you talked about it's kind of giving us the curl pattern too.
yes, actually, when you're using with the mousse, it gives you that curl pattern, that gives you that definition. So for people who are doing LOC, it's, I think, having those straight, because you see, like, actually, especially with mousse, people really saturate their hair with it, yeah? Okay, I have a question there. Can I take it, Tawana?
Yeah, let me read it out loud just so that everybody can see it and hear it. So Miss Patricia says, can the viscosity of an oil be used, or is oil too thin?
Exactly. So oil is too thin. The Dixie Tangler is not designed for oil. It's designed for, let's say, all of the way from a light leave-in conditioner to a thick mayonnaise-based type of a product. When I first had the idea of this, of course, my mom used water and oil. So as a scientist, I was just like, okay, can do water and oil or cream, and I actually had two mechanisms, one for oil, one for cream. And when I tested with the woman, the one with the cream was had a much more better review because of the functionality on where it was. So I decided to focus on that. I have kept the idea of the oil in my head, but we have to start somewhere. So, and we have to be really focused. So the Deluxe Detangler is designed to apply, not to apply liquid, to not apply oil. It's designed to apply all the way from your leave-in conditioner to your hair mask.
Very good. And Tracy has a couple of comments. She says, not a question, but she likes the device. She likes that it's easy to clean. She says she was a bit worried initially that hair products could get moldy inside of it. But now that you showed us how it breaks apart and how easy it is to clean,
Yeah, very
not the
easy to
case.
clean. Very easy.
She says, she's telling, this part of the question is for me, to introduce
Okay.
you to a founder named Tammy from Silk Out System that has a relationship with some beauty schools. Maybe we can
Oh,
connect you guys together.
fantastic.
So Tracy, I thought about Tammy, but I also thought about Stephanie LaFleur with Crown Hunt. So I have those written down to make those connections. And I will do
Sweet.
that.
Thank you, Tracy.
Also, Tracy says she filled out the inquiry form. She's ready. She says, for all of us, we're quite proud of you. She says,
Oh,
thank
thank
you
you so
also
much.
for staying up so late to let us support you as you operate in your gift.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Very nice. What other questions do we have, guys? You guys are never this quiet. What other questions?
I can give some more insight on the business if there's no question at this stage. Yeah. So I really, I really believe that there is wealth in the diversity that we have as individual, and being part of such a small place, one could think, but what is the exciting bit? But Mayotte is actually next to Africa. Yes, and so the government is actually developing loads of collaborative organization between East Africa and Mayotte because of its position. So in the future, the way I see, so my focus right now has got to be the US and the UK. And France is actually a big country actually because there is a big population of Black people, and Mayotte being French, a lot of the diaspora of Mayotte is in France. So I think those people will also feel very proud of having one of their sisters taking such a project, and they are the one who really gonna help push some form of like organic marketing. But in the long run, is actually work with Mayotte to actually go seek the African market, especially looking at Kenya, South Africa, because those are where the government is looking to develop collaborative between businesses and so on and so forth. So regarding that aspect, I think there is lots of strength into using the diversity of the places where we are from and not forgetting one of them. So, and that is something that I'm really keeping in mind in the future, potentially in the next 5 years or so on, not something that I'm aiming to do right now, but that vision is very, very clear. And potentially another information one thing that I believe will be very interesting to actually take this product even in market that potentially we are not in at the beginning is co-branding, because by not selling haircare product, we become potentially the collaborators of many. Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's enabled that company, let's say that is based potentially, let's say in the US, I'm trying to get in the market. I'm co-branding with a company that has great haircare product. They are increasing, they are changing, they are bettering their offer to their users. They are getting a percentage of the sale that they're doing with the Deluxe Detangler. We are getting visibility to a different market that we don't have access to, and it's a win-win collaborative. That is something that I really don't mind collaborating with different people when when we have similar vision and the branding actually fits and the vision of the two actually is matching. So I think that is will be a very interesting way to actually develop co-branding opportunities with different brands in actually testing an easy way to test the market.
Yeah. So there is a founder, Kimberly Lewis with Curl Mix. I don't know if you've heard of her.
I've heard of Colmix, yeah.
Amazing founder. She lives in the US in Chicago. And I think she's one that would also be a good connector. Because one of the things she does, remember the brush I showed you? That little
Yeah.
flexible thing that's supposed to help kind of, she sells that with her products. That is, she didn't design it. It's not her item though, right?
Yeah.
She's co-marketing that item and selling it when you get, I think when you order a certain amount of product, you get that brush for free or something.
Okay, I see.
But like founders like that would be perfect to connect you with. And I actually have her information because we spoke
Sweet.
once. And so that's another one I'll make an introduction
Sweet,
to you
fantastic.
as well. And she's raised millions of dollars through crowdfunding for her product line. Yeah. So even connecting you to talk to you about what that journey of raising capital was like, right? Be a good connection. So I will
Fantastic. I've seen her on Shark Tank, and I've looked a bit
yes,
of the
yes,
journey. Fantastic. Yes, yes.
yes. All right, okay. I may get a little jazzy and just introduce you to everybody, Doc.
You know what they say, yeah, your network is your network, yeah. So I won't say no to one. I'm like, let's go.
Let's do it. I love it. I love this product. I do. I think about as I saw it, right? Because seeing it in the presentation is one thing, but seeing it in your hand, I imagined, where it would sit on the shelf in the beauty supply store. That's where my brain went to, is like, okay, where would, because you see all of the brushes and all of the combs. Oh my goodness. Just I talked about the hair care industry. I don't know what the accessory industry is, but like think about it. Anytime we go in hair care stores, just the combs and brushes alone, they come in every shape, they come in every size, right? And it's just amazing. And this product stands out, right?
Yes.
From the things that I know I've seen in the hair store. I mean, I could go in my room right now in my closet. I know I've got 5 brushes. I've got about 20 combs. None of them look like what you have, right? None of them serve that same purpose. And so there's nothing like it. Even with the 2 competitors, it doesn't look like your product, doesn't feel like your product, right? They're very different. And while they have some similarities in use case, they are not the same. They are not created equal. You definitely have a superior product based on what we just saw. So I am excited about what you're going to accomplish.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We've got a couple of questions. Bernard says, maybe I missed it, but is there another model or color for men's beards?
Oh, so as I mentioned, so when I was speaking about that slide is explaining IP exploitation. So what I mean by that is, as an investor, people want to see that there is a different product line, but that when you're starting with a product and IP, the difference of the product line the different product that can bring it in the market can all be based on the IP. So in the future, because right now, actually, I did give it to a man with a beard, and he really liked the feeling. But I believe part of the research project that I'm doing with the Innovate UK is actually allowing me to do a research project where I'm going to engage with 50 individuals. Among that, there will be 10 men using the current detangler to actually get feedback. Is it the right shape? Does it bring them value to them? Is it too wide, to really understand before actually having something that is much more tailored? I think the scientists in me always think about, optimizing things. And so I wouldn't want to right now, when it's come to the selling it, I'm focusing on individual with textured hair, curly, coily, kinky. But I'm also doing research to try to understand what the value, thanks to this grant, what the value could be to men with beards. to hairdressers. So we're going to engage with 10 hairdressers, 10 men with beards, mothers, and then young women, but also individual with disability, limited mobility. Because when I had that 30 trial, I gave it to a hairdresser. One of her client has limited mobility, and she was like, "Oh my God, this will be really good because it's about simplifying those 3 different steps into one, and it make it easier for me. So I want to understand if there is real value there, so we can have a roadmap as a business about where we are putting our effort regarding using that IP to enter different market and cater for different individual. So I always try to engage. I think one of the key element of Nyfasi is community-led innovation. Regardless what we develop, we are in that conversation from the simple 3D idea. So this is actually my first prototype. This is my first ever prototype.
Started as, wow, a 3D.
Exactly.
Wow.
This is the one that was actually tested by those 40 women, those first 20 women who just tested it for an hour. And the
Right.
one that tested for 30 women is this one that I show you. So I really want to keep that ethos of community-led innovation. So it's really enable you to actually develop a much more superior product because you are building it with individual. And even as we go to market, I intend to keep going and actually keep having research to really understand how can we improve, because the iPhone didn't get there at once. It got small improvement every single time, and that is the long-term vision when regarding improving. So the whole thing with the beard, I believe there is a market. We are doing the research with the current design to understand potentially if really it will bring them value, how much they will buy it for, what changes we need to take to the product for them to actually have value for men with beards. I hope that answered your question.
It does. Very, very good. And in the chat, they're throwing out more people to introduce you to. And Nyfasi is another black hair care company. They're also out of Chicago, and they do a lot globally. Actually, they actually have products that focus on curly, kinky, wavy hair,
Fantastic.
and they do that globally. So I'll make that connection also. And then there's a shaver and razor company called the Cut Buddy. So when they could be a good partner for you when you get to the beard comb, because they have beard products.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Tracy said, I imagine using it on my 3-year-old niece. I imagine using it during my lock process, etc. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that that I look to do in the future. So I think because I have a nephew and I use it on him too actually. And his hair is, bless him, he likes to have he likes to have braids, but his hair was quite smooth. And the thing is, one thing that can be envisaged in the future is actually to have a handle for people with short hair. So the hand, you see, so really the vision is this dynamos because of the different needs and specific design that you need for different people at their journey. And let's say, I believe most men will have shorter hair, even if it's long, but much more shorter than women. So a handle will become very handy. So there is lots of possibility with R&D, and where, just one thing to mention, where I see myself in the business within 5 years is not the CEO. That's not for me. Where I am leading this right now because I'm the right person, because I have the passion. But in the long run, my strength is into R&D. I want to shift to be head of research and development, to actually bring all of this idea together and keep doing what I do well, which come to developing a product and being creative.
Yeah. Wow. I definitely see that. I see that. Anonymous says, hello. This is exactly the type of item that one would say that seems so simple in its need. Why didn't I think of that?
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. They said, brilliant idea. Question, has the durability of the product been tested, since it would be likely tossed around, stuffed in luggage for travel, and so on?
The material that you're using is a typical a plastic material that are used for all hair care products. So we do have strength in the product itself. That's the one that let me take one that has nothing. So we have strength in the product. You see what I mean? We do have strength. I believe, I believe in transparency. I think the first thing that could potentially require somebody to change it could be potentially the locking mechanism here, because you need to press. but really the quality is something that is built to last, let's say, at least 5 years and so on, if you're taking care of it, really. So durability is, at £30, I want to offer people not only a great experience, but something that they can keep for a certain time.
Right. Very good. All right. I want to pull up the form just so that everyone can
Yes,
see it.
Patrice, the cost depend on the quantity that we're manufacturing. So in that slide, I had some of the costs. So let's say if we are manufacturing a low quantity, which is not quite low, but low when we think of injection molding. When we manufacture 2,500 units, the cost is £2.7. But when we manufacture 10,000, the cost dropped to 1.69. So as we increase in production, that price actually decreased. And similarly with the packaging, when you manufacture 2,500, the cost is 1.9 pound, the packaging. And then when we manufacture 10,000, the cost dropped to actually 1.13p.
Nice. All right, I want to share just so that we can see the information being requested to start, right? So it's just a type form, right? So it just means it's just a
Yeah.
form that you fill information in.
Yeah.
So it kind of walks you through the process, tells you how much is still open to be raised, walks through that process. Once you hit start, you just type your name in, right? You hit OK.
Yeah, I can put test.
Right?
She can put test to everything.
Yeah. You just kind of go through it. And so this is where she's collecting information, right? Oh, that doesn't look right. Hold on.
Yeah,
Oh,
because it's an email, so
yeah.
you won't accept your test. With gmail.com.
Right. And then you're going to book time on the calendar, right? If you've got
Yeah.
some follow-up
If you
questions.
have question, exactly, you can book time or you
You'll
can
book.
actually fill the form.
Okay. So,
I think if you go back up, he'll tell you to get to see the rest of the form. The fantastic. Choose the second option. Yeah, that's for if you're booking a meeting. So
also choose the second option. Hold on.
yeah. So if you go back to the previous question as you did previously, fantastic there. So if you delete test, so you can choose the second option. If you that arrow, you see that arrow on the side? Exactly. So you can
There it
choose, I
is.
would like to receive
I
and
would
review
like
the
to
copy
receive
of
the
this.
agreement. There you go. That's
Exactly. So you
there.
just carry on with your details.
So
Yeah.
then I would put here. All the postal information.
Yeah, because that is necessary for the contract itself. So I'll be sending you something that shows you how it looks like. So, and you get to review it. United States. He knows, but he wanted to write it.
Okay.
That's not compulsory, so it's just
Why are you interested?
I think, the way I see this, especially at this stage, I like to, I think business is about human interactions. So it's always nice to actually see, to actually understand beyond the financial return, what is it that is actually speaking to people.
Very good. Right.
So for this one, as I say, I'm looking to build an advisory board so people who are experienced. So I'm open to that because I currently don't have one, and I would love to have one. But also just people who can support in different ways. That's
Nice.
and then another opportunity to ask any question, any comments there.
Questions, right?
And then I will receive those information. I will draft it and then send you an email. And then once you're okay, we can get going and sign the contract on that platform called Seed Legal. And then within this 5 days, you can transfer the funds. So it's a very, very simple form, which is just enable you to actually get the opportunity to view the contract.
Very good. And how do you transfer funds? Is it only wire transfers?
I think there is between us, so it doesn't go through that platform. As you can do a transfer, you can a normal transfer at the bank, or or we transfer using is it not a Wise, not WeTransfer, using Wise or any platform that is suitable for you. So you have that flexibility there.
Perfect. Very, very good. Okay. Any other questions, guys? I just wanted to go through that form so you could see exactly what it was. Want to make sure you understand what happens next, if you're interested. Any other questions? Anything you guys want to know? Anything we didn't talk about? Put a 1 in the chat if you absolutely love this presentation.
Let me see.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my 1 in here too, because I absolutely loved it. Very, very good. Very good. This is one, guys, where I feel like, obviously, the call to action is to consider adding this into your portfolio, right? Tell your family and friends about it. But, only $30,000 US dollars approximately is what's being raised, right? So there's not a whole lot, right? That's needed. I mean, it literally will take 15 of us, right? to love this enough to invest $2,000. And then Yumna has what she needs to continue this journey. And so if you like what you saw, please reach out to some of your close family and friends that also would be interested in this. Tell them about it. You're going to get this replay in your email this evening now that T-Shine has power. And so, share the replay with them, right? Let them see it. We'll also put, if you could send us the video that you played so that we can add that to the email we send out so that they could hear the audio.
Fantastic.
What's interesting is while I could read the subtitles, I could see their faces and I still heard the emotion, but I want to hear the emotion, right? So I heard it, but I want to hear it. So send that over to us. We'll add that to the email as well, so that everyone can see that and the difference that this is going to make in a family's life. And it's so funny because sometimes people look at change and things that make lives better as these huge, enormous things. And it's not always, right? Getting hit over the head with that comb could have not happened and I would have been okay, right? I still would have been a professional, successful woman. I wouldn't be traumatized though, right? And so, small impacts to our lives make a difference. And for all of the Black women here, and Black men too, because you have Black women in your lives somewhere, right? The impact and the journey of our Black hair, right? And just for those who may have had kinky or curly hair, right? It wasn't always in style. And for those who always had that natural looking grade of hair, that journey could have been difficult for some. And so you're changing the lives of young people and older people, right? That we don't have to continue that cycle of not loving who you are. That packaging is beautiful.
Oh, fantastic that you like it.
Beautiful. Think about if that Just For Me box that we used to put the creamy crack in our hair when we was little, if it right? If it told us to love ourselves, like imagine what that little Black girl's journey would have been if there was more of that. I mean, just absolutely beautiful, so thoughtful. It translates exactly the way you want it to.
Fantastic.
Imagine that coming in the mail and just lighting someone up inside in the best of ways. So thank you for sharing this with
So
us.
much. Thank you so
So
much.
much. This was
Thank you so much.
wonderful. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud that you had that talk with yourself to say, this is really cool that I'm doing all this great stuff, figuring out R&D for other people. But what can I do with something that matters to me?
Yeah.
And here we are.
Who will have taught?
How absolutely beautiful. More of us need to have that conversation with ourselves. I tell you.
When you don't want to write scientific papers.
I'm gonna skip that part. Oh, goodness. Well, everyone, we're going to put the link in here one more time for you this evening. If you're interested, please go ahead, fill out that form. If you have additional questions that you didn't feel comfortable asking here this evening, or they just pop into your head after we leave, then you can fill out that form and you can put some time on Dr. Yuna's calendar. Congratulations, sis. Congratulations, peace and blessings. And I am going to make all of those connections. So probably tomorrow you'll see a lot of emails come through where I'm just introducing you to people that I think will be really helpful for you to talk to.
Fantastic. I very much appreciate your time. I very much appreciate, I'm a person who absorbs energy. Thank you so much for the energy. I receive it. And the encouragement and just the opportunity and the interest that you show to the project. I was telling Tawana that I was slightly more stressed out than usually I am when I'm teaching, because it's been rare to have opportunity to speak to people who understand this so well. And so it feels so special. So it's always when something is slightly special, you're slightly more. So that's how special this was for me. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah,
and
I think Anonymous hit it on the head, right? Where Anonymous said, it's so simple. Like, how come we didn't all think of this, right? I think that's why there weren't a million questions too, because we get it. We get it.
You, Eddie.
The community gets it. They understood it. They understand. Eddie said you were flawless.
Thank you, Eddie.
Very nice. Okay, guys, we know what's next. We understand the assignment. Tell people you know about this. This is not one that it'll be around in 6 months and in 30 days and 60 days. I mean, it won't be. Dr. Yumna, when we talked, she still had the whole 40, right, that she was trying to raise. And so just in a couple of weeks, she got the 15, which is wonderful. And so, this is something I think if you're interested in, definitely fill out the form, engage, interact, and then, make your decision. All right. Thank you so very much. You get some rest. 2 o'clock now it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Get some rest. Please get some rest. Thank you so much for being so flexible with the time. And we appreciate you. And I'll be in contact. We'll be talking soon.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much and have a lovely evening. Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone.